Hey guys, it's Joshy here bringing you my next Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle video. Now this is a double video, it's got two battles of the same team in it. I thought, I was using it, got them, and I thought I'm going to chuck them together in a video. So if you do like that, let me know, or even leave some comments, some team Pokemon suggestions, anything. I love the suggestions because I enjoy getting on them. And if you really do like it, smash that like button because it does help out the channel and everything. Even though it's early stages, it still helps it. So anyway, into the first battle, I'm going to leave off with my shiny Serena here. I am choice banded here. So I am going to hit hard on anything. He's going to lead off with his Metagross, shiny Metagross. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure what he's going to go for. And he does go for the Meteor Mash. So I could have probably gone for the Trop Kick and got a bit more. But I thought, you know what, I don't want to hit him with not very effective. I'm just going to U-turn out here. And yeah, so he actually was faster than me, so that was a bit disappointing, but anyway. But here comes in my Mrs. Fiona Charming, because she is a green ogre, little ogre like Shrek, because, why not call it that. And he actually hits me with a Psychic, so I'm glad I didn't stay in and Trop Kick, because he's a mixed set and he's very fast. So I'm going to go for the Swagger straight off. Here, I carry a bit of a different set. I could carry a better set, but I enjoy using this one. So I got Swagger, Attract, Toxic, and Curse, and I'm thinking I might get rid of Curse because I'm quite defensive both sides for Recover, just for the sake of it. But anyway, here he gets through his Confusion and he hits me with Psychic again. So I just go for Curse here just to boost up a bit, and yeah, because I can't obviously poison him, and because, well, I can't attract any either, so I just need the Confusion to hit, get himself to hit himself in Confusion, because then he can lose it here. But here he actually returns, and I've sped this next part up because it was a bit stally, because it did go on for a while. But here I went for Swagger, missed, and there was actually a battle I had recently just for recording this voice, and I was getting pissed off because I missed Swagger 3 out of 4 times. Anyway, I get the Toxic off, he's poisoned, so that's going to start wearing down Kyurem, and here he goes for another Dragon Pulse. I just live on 20 HP, and I get the Swagger off. So I'm like, oh, if I go down now, I go down, but hopefully he hits himself in Confusion once or twice. And he Free Shock, he cloaks himself, and like, oh, I'm a bit worried here. Fingers crossed, up a bit more stats, because why not? And yeah, and he misses Free Shock. I'm like, no way. So I've gone for Swagger again anyway. And I was like, oh, let's see what happens. He's losing a bit to Toxic here. He's confused. He uses Dragon Pulse. I just leave it on 1 HP. I'm like, no way. This is quite funny. Like, my little Pukamuka's giving it to Kyurem. And here I'm like, okay, what's gonna... And he hits himself in Confusion. I'm like, Kyurem Black or Pukamuku? Obviously Pukamuku is the more powerful. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. I was like, oh, okay, I don't even care what happens. I want to stick that little bit in a video somewhere, but I got this one in the next video. So Mrs. Fiona Charming, a little bit of a highlight to both battles, I think. So anyway, I take a little bit more Lefty's recovery, and he brings in his Crocodile here, and I'm like, oh. Now I realised I didn't get intimidated, so I'm like, he must be a Moxie set, so this is a good time for him to come in, but, what am I going to do? So anyway, Mrs. Fiona Charming is going to go down there, unfortunately. But with my innards out, I get a tiny little bit of chip damage off, but, whatever. And that's her down, but I'm very, very happy with the efforts there. So here I'm going to bring back in Serena, because I expected I could be faster, if not, hopefully I can take a hit. But I was faster, and Trop Kick, Choice Banded, and like max attack, he's gone. So that's him down. Anyway, and he brings in the Charizard here, and I'm like, okay, I gotta deal with this Charizard, and it can be a bit of a annoying Pokemon against this team. So anyway, I'm gonna bring out Posey here, and as soon as I brought her out, I went, crap, I forgot to make sure she had leftovers still on it. I was like, oh, you moron. But what do you do? So here I lose a bit of HP, and I'm like, okay, I'll get a Toxic up or Wrap up here, either one, doesn't matter, I'll just get a little bit. And I'm actually slower anyway, and yeah, Blast Burn. I'm like, oh, great. And I was like, oh, well, I can at least use this turn to get a bit of an increase. Now this part here is pretty stally as well, so I've really sped it up as well. So on this turn I thought I'll use Barrier. He's going to go for the Flamethrower. I actually get burnt, which doesn't worry me too much because it means no one can Toxic me. I get the Psychic off, take off a fair bit, and I'm like, oh well, I'm expecting the Blast Burn again, so I'm going to use Recover, get my HP back, excuse me, and I'll use a Barrier again. And so here I thought I don't want him to swap yet, I'd rather have full HP or close to it, so I used recover again, heal up, and so this turn I'm like, okay, this turn I'll take him out. So I take him out and I'm like, that's not too bad, good efforts, and then he brings in the Solgaleo. I'm like, damn it, this thing walls me hard. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to stay and, you know, do what I can do. Here he even goes for the Z move. And I was like, oh, gosh, and this is, you know, going to take off a lot. It's going to be strong. But I just live it and get the recover off there. I'm like, woo, made him waste the Z move. So he goes for the Flame Charge. I'm like, oh, he could technically use that a fair few times to set up his speed on me. So he takes me down. He can do a bit of damage on anything. And I get the defense fall from the crunch, and I'm like, oh, can I get a special defense fall on him? Because if I carry the Shadow Ball, it'd be all good, but I don't. I like to carry the Energy Ball and Psychic, because, you know, why not? Again. Anyway, and I'm going to, here, he gets a crit. I don't get a crit. He does. I don't even get a drop, and I'm going to go down there to the crunch. But I wasn't too worried about it. I got rid of the Charizard, and here I'm going to bring the Volcarona, and I'm like, you know, he does outspeed me, and I'm not sure what he's going to use, but whatever he uses shouldn't kill me in one hit. And I'm going to go for my Z move just because I want this thing gone, because I know he's faster, and if he takes me out, he could cause a bit of problems to the whole team. So here I'm just going to go for the Firium Z, and I use this with my Heat Wave, because he's from my double battles. I have him carry Heat Wave and Fiery Dance, and it is just stronger from Heat Wave by a little bit. So that's definitely going to be Solgaleo down. I'm like, good. Those, you know, boring legendaries, get out of my way. So here he brings in the Reshiram, and I'm like, cool. I don't know what I'm going to do to this thing here. I'm not sure what I want to do to this thing either. So anyway, I stayed in and got a Quiver Dance up. And I was like, let's see how I go here. And I get my boosts, and he goes for Fly. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to stay in against this Fly. I don't want to take it. I'm not going to take it because this defense is quite fairly, you know, low compared to any other stat. So I'm like, sorry, Parasect, this is your exit. Sacked off. And that's Parasect out. So I'm like, that's alright. So here I'm like, okay, who should I bring in? I was tossing and turning up for a little bit here, and I was like, I'm not sure. But I'm going to bring in the Serena here. I'm like, I can get a decent hit off, so that way I know that my Volcarona should be able to take him out in one hit. So here I go for the high jump kick. And as I said, that'll take him out. Not take him out, but takes him down quite low, actually. Took off more HP than I expected, but that was fine. And he goes for the Fusion Flare. And I did look this up online because I know I mix it up. And well, there's a few moves I mix up, and I think this is one because I never use it. And I did look it up, and it doesn't have a recovery turn, which is good. I looked it up, so then I didn't waste a turn going for like Quiver Dance. So here I'm just going to go straight for the Bug Buzz because it's only, you know, 0.5 times, not 0.25 like a fire move, and I'll take him out there. So that's the Reshiram gone, and he's down to his last Pokemon now, and it switches in Metagross, and I thought even if it outspeeds me here, which I'm not sure if it will, but it shouldn't be able to do too much. And I'm actually on my last Pokemon too, so I go for the Fiery Dance here, and that's going to be enough to take out the shiny Metagross. So I'm like, woo, close battle, that was fun, you know. Beware the Volcarona, always, you know, maybe really weak to Stealth Rocks, but definitely beware. So into the next battle, same team again, and I have the same mindset with my lead off. I thought, you know, I can U-turn out if I want, if it's not as great, or if I get a good matchup, I have a decent move set to use. So he sends out his Volcarona. I'm like, aha, got to get rid of this. I know how much of a pest it can be. I have to get rid of it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's raising his boosting. I'm like, that's alright. At least he didn't get a hit off on me like a Fiery Dance, then get a special attack raise and kill me and blah, blah, blah. And U-turn does alright damage, you know, being like quad resisted. And so I'm going to send out my Fiona Charming here. And I was like, okay. The only problem I have with Mrs. Fiona Charming here is that I am quite defensive. So even when I get hit by something, I'm rarely taken out on full health. She is good to stop a sweeper with that, but you know. So I'm going to get the Toxic up here. So I'm like, even here I should be able to stall out the sweep nonetheless because the Toxic damage. So I'm not too fussed. And excuse me, and I'm like, okay, so I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I was definitely leaving Fiona Charming back in here because I'm like, I'm not going to swap. And here she actually goes for the Quiver Dance, and I'm like, oh, well, he goes for the Quiver Dance, sorry. And I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that because it lets me get my chance to get another move off, which was Swagger, and it didn't miss because this game wasn't being an ass like other ones. and I'm going to be able to confuse him here. So even if I go down, I know I've got him confused and he's poisoned. Unless he returns, he's going to be worn down. So I'm like, I've pretty much stopped this thing from sweeping my team, so it gives me the chance to fight back, because you don't let Volcarona set up. If you let Volcarona set up, that can be the end of everything, which is also good with carrying someone in like Mrs. Fiona Charming. When something sets up, you can take a big chunk of their health, if not all of it off, or most of it off, with the in and out ability. I know most people do carry unaware, so it ignores the stat changes, but this is what I caught her with, and I'm not gonna, well, I can't actually change it because it's the hidden ability, but I quite enjoy what I got. So anyway, you know, toxic damage is racking up and she hasn't taken me down, he hasn't taken me down yet, so I'm like, you know, come on Confusion, kick in here, it'd be cool. And it doesn't, but I've also got him attracted, and he gets through it as well and goes for the bug buzz. But thanks to my recovery from my lefties, oh sorry, no, I do die here, but my in and out ability is going to kick in, and that's going to take the Volcarona down. So that was a good start. I was pretty happy with that, you know. Mrs. Fiona Charming may be down, but thank goodness saved everything, because that could have been a bad thing. So here he brings in his Letode, which is his Politoed. And I'm going to bring in my Serena again. And I'm like, I don't know if he's going to stay in or not. And, you know, these sets can be completely all over the place with Politoed. There's a heap of different sets with stats and moves. But I go for the Trop Kick. I outspeed, banded, stabbed, and he's gone. But he has set up the rain, which does help him. And so I'm pretty happy with that effort. And he's going to bring in his Oricorio. And it's pom-pom form, so I'm like, okay. So I'm expecting a hurricane here, especially with the rain set up. So I'm going to send in my Posy here. And this time I did put the leftovers back on, thank goodness. He goes for the hurricane. He hits pretty hard, but I'm quite specially defensive. I'm defensive all over the board with a bit of HP. And he does outspeed anyway, so I do take a second hit. And I, excuse me, here I should have gone for Toxic to get more damage, but oh, sorry, I did go for Toxic. I keep getting my moves wrong. I thought I went for Wrap, but that was a different battle. I wrapped and it was useless. So anyway, I've got the Toxic up. Even though it's not going to do too much damage in the 2 turns, I am going to go down the next turn because he's going to hit, but I just wanted to really waste some of the rain turns. So I snap out, you know, second turn, and I go for Synthesis. Now, if there wasn't rain, I'd be fine. I'd probably heal enough that I would have survived. But unfortunately, because it's raining, I only recover a quarter instead of half. If it was sunny, all back. So that's Posy down, but I've run out enough rain turns here that I'm pretty happy. The battle was heading where I want it to head. And so here I have sped up the next part again because I'm, excuse me, I believe I really sped this up because I'm quite stally. So I'm going to bring Behem here. He's going to go for the Hurricane, raise my special defense for my berry. I'm going to use Barrier because I know I can take it. And that's going to help me boost up. So here he goes for Revelation Dance. And lucky I went for the Recover because the Butthead critted me. And I'm like, oh, damn it. So he goes for Revelation Dance again. And I thought I'll go for the Recover just like because he got a double crit. And I was like, far out. So I went Recover again. Luckily he didn't crit me. I get most of my health back. And he's going to go down to the Poison. So he's going to bring in his Pixel Dog. And he's got Psych up. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to raise any more stats because I don't want to boost this guy's stats. He goes for Wish. And I'm like, okay, great. Followed by Moonblast. I'm like, he's probably going to get the hacks, lower my special attack, blah, blah, blah. So here I'm like, I could swap and try and set something up, but I really don't want to. And then he pulls out the Protect as well. I'm like, oh, that's even worse. Excuse me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep playing this out because we're going to waste each other's recovery PP and everything, which is fine with me. And I really don't want to bring anything in on this guy yet. I'd rather have the swap in from a death than anything else. So we're still stalling back and forth. I'm recovering, he's recovering. Here I was trying to waste his PP from Moonblast as well because I knew that he only had one attacking move. And the more of that I waste, the better. So I was hoping to get a special defense drop because if I got one at all, he'd have to go for the Psych up again to match me. Otherwise I should be able to hit him quite hard. Or a crit from me, but I was never lucky enough to get a crit to when we had the big plays, but they were every time. But luckily enough, you know, I live that crit, get a hit off, but then I'm down again. And I believe that was a crit again at the end. I was like, far out, you know, give one of them to me, share it around. So he does lose a bit more health to the Life Orb, and I'm going to bring in my Volcarona here. So I know he hasn't got any boost in special attack at this stage, and I'm faster, so I'm going to go for the Quiver Dance. I thought he's probably going to go for a Wish, then a Protect, and then I didn't bother. I knew that if I wanted to, if he did go for the Protect, I do have the Z move which could hit through it, but I don't know if it'd hit hard enough. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for another Quiver Dance, and this is his biggest mistake. Do not let Volcarona set up. And if you know, he had nothing like a Pyukumuku to take a lot of damage off me or anything else. I'm not life orbed or anything, so which he doesn't know yet, but I'm not. So I'm just going to go for another Quiver Dance because I'm like, cool, just let me set up. I can finish this with Volcarona easy. I know it because I know what you've got left, and I'm definitely going to. So he goes for the Sark Up, and I did forget that. But nonetheless, he only gets an extra boost in his special defense. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of you now. I'm going to use my Z move here. And I'm sure you're not fully expecting that. And with the Z move and my 3 special attack boosts, I'm pretty sure I'm either going to take him out or take him down quite low. And unless he uses Wish this turn, then has to protect the next turn is the only way. And I thought he's not going to predict the be taken down so low, so he's probably not going to use the Wish straight away now. He's probably going to attack me, which he does, so I don't take him out. He's on red, but he goes for the Moonblast here, and I know, you know, I'm going to live it. And that's fine with me because it's the only one he's got which isn't that effective. So here I can just go for the Fiery Dance and take him out. There's no problem here, so that's down. And I'm unlucky in that I don't get the special attack boost, but I've already got 3 up, and Volcarona's a monster. So anyway, he's only got 2 left, so he brings in Mystique, which is his shiny Umbreon, and I'm going to just bug buzz this guy out of here. So I'm like, sorry, but I got this, mate. So Mystique's down, and he has 1 Pokemon left, which I thought, this has only had 2 battles with this team, really, and he brings in Professor X, which is pretty cool. And that's his shiny Metagross. That's 2 I had. 2 battles, 2 shiny Metagrosses, though this one's his Mega Evolution. I'm like, nothing's going to save you now, though. So I'm going to be able to Fiery Dance this guy gone. So that's the battle, guys. I hope you've lasted to here and really enjoyed it. And until my next video, I'll see you guys.